If you are still holding out hope for a happy, romantic reunion between Anna Devane and Valentin Cassadine next week, I am here to tell you to prepare your hearts for a brutal, devastating heartbreak. The fairy tale you have been waiting for is officially over before it even truly begins, and the nightmare that is about to replace it will leave you completely breathless. We are looking at a storyline that is going to shake the very foundations of the WSB, and if you ask me, the writers are pulling absolutely no punches this time around. Let us set the stage and look at the sheer chaos that is currently consuming our favorite characters. As we all know, Anna Devane has just been cleared to leave her mental health treatment facility in France. Thanks to the surprising intervention of Willow Kane, who helped resolve Anna's lingering legal issues, our beloved super spy was finally packing her bags and preparing to return to Port Charles. You could almost feel the collective sigh of relief from the fans, thinking that Anna was finally going to get a moment of peace. She had that incredibly important meeting with her doctor, and everything seemed to be pointing toward a triumphant homecoming. But guys, in the world of soap operas, a moment of peace is just the deep breath you take before you are pulled underwater. While Anna was looking forward to the future, the man who loves her was busy throwing his own life away to secure that future. Valentin Cassadine, in a move that proves just how deeply he cares for the people in his life, made the ultimate sacrifice. He had that incredibly emotional, tear-jerking goodbye with Carly Spencer and his precious daughter Charlotte. We all watched as he walked away, fully prepared to face the music in Geneva. He risked his freedom, his life, and his future to contact the mysterious operative known only as Z. Valentin knew that Ross Cullum was a double agent working with the escaped madman Jen Sidwell. He knew about the cold fusion prototype, and he knew that Carly and Jocelyn Jacks were in grave, imminent danger. Valentin put his head on the chopping block, turning himself over to the WSB and meeting with Z to expose Cullum and save the people he loves. He truly believed that by handing over this massive intelligence, he could negotiate his way back to Port Charles. He thought he was playing a master game of chess. But that's not even the craziest part. The reality of the situation is far more sinister than Valentin could have ever anticipated, and this is where the bombshell drops. The mysterious Z, the very person who seemingly helped facilitate the rescue mission that kept Anna and Jocelyn from becoming permanent casualties, has an entirely different agenda. You see, the WSB is not a beacon of justice. It is a cold, calculating machine. Once the operation concluded, and Ross Cullum's treacherous double agent status was dealt with, Z looked at Valentin not as a hero, but as a massive, glaring liability. In the eyes of Z and the corrupt upper echelons of the WSB, Valentin Cassadine has simply outlived his usefulness. He knows too much about their internal operations, he knows about the cold fusion prototype, and he knows exactly how deep the corruption runs within the Bureau. Instead of granting Valentin the immunity or leniency he so desperately bargained for, Z makes a chilling, calculated decision to eliminate all loose ends. And in the WSB, eliminating a loose end like a Cassadine does not always mean a bullet in the dark. It means something far worse. It means Steinmauer. Yes, guys, the infamous, inescapable fortress of despair. Z orders Valentin to be apprehended, bound, and shipped off to the darkest, dampest cell in Steinmauer, effectively burying him alive where he can never threaten the Bureau's secrets again. Imagine the sheer terror Valentin must be feeling, realizing that his grand sacrifice to save Jocelyn and Anna has resulted in his own permanent erasure from the world. He played right into their hands, giving them everything they needed, only to be locked away in a hellhole where daylight never reaches. This is the kind of wreck devastation that changes a character forever, stripping away all his power and leaving him at the absolute mercy of a faceless organization. But that's not even the craziest part. When the news of Valentin's capture and impending transfer to Steinmauer finally reaches Anna Devane, we are going to witness a psychological breakdown unlike anything we have seen from her in decades. Think about the gravity of this moment. Anna Devane is the very embodiment of the WSB. She has bled for that badge. She has sacrificed her personal life, her happiness, and sometimes even her family for the greater good of the organization. But standing there, breathing the free air of Port Charles, she is forced to confront a long-buried secret. The organization she dedicated her entire life to is fundamentally broken, corrupt, and evil. The realization hits her like a freight train. The very people who claim to protect the world are the ones throwing the man who saved her into a black site prison. Anna is faced with the most agonizing dilemma of her entire legendary career. On one hand, she has her lifelong loyalty to the WSB, the oath she swore, and the identity she has built over 30 years. On the other hand, she has Valentin Cassadine, a complicated, deeply flawed man, but a man who has repeatedly laid down his life for her. A man who looked Carly in the eye and chose to walk into the fire so that others could live. If you ask me, this is the ultimate test of Anna's soul. She knows that if she turns a blind eye, Valentin will rot in Steinmauer until the end of his days. But if she takes action, she must burn her entire life to the ground. She must become the very thing she has hunted her entire career: a rogue agent, a traitor to the crown, a fugitive on the run. And let me tell you guys, our girl does not hesitate. In a jaw dropping twist that will have every single fan screaming at their television screens, Anna Devane makes the definitive choice to completely sever her ties with the WSB. She throws away the rulebook, she discards the badge, and she embraces the darkness. Anna realizes that she can no longer fight for a corrupt organization. She must fight for the people who are actually worthy of her protection. And right now, Valentin Cassadine is at the very top of that list, but that's not even the craziest part. The true climax of this entire explosive storyline is how Anna decides to execute her rescue mission. She is not just going to sneak into Steinmauer and pick a lock. No, Anna Devane is going to wage a one-woman war against the WSB. She sets her sights directly on the mysterious Z. The person who was supposedly an ally, the person who helped save her life, is now the primary target in Anna's crosshairs. Anna is going to use every single lethal skill, every hidden contact, and every ounce of her legendary tactical genius to hunt Z down. Can you even imagine the sheer intensity of this confrontation? Anna tracking down a top-tier WSB operative, knowing that one wrong move means she will end up in a cell right next to Valentin. She is willing to pull the trigger on her former colleagues to stop that transfer. She is crossing a line from which there is absolutely zero return. By actively hunting Z and attempting to sabotage a highly classified WSB operation, Anna Devane is declaring herself an enemy of the state. She will be hunted by the very people she trained. She will be a wanted woman globally. The stakes have never, ever been this high. We are watching the complete and total evolution of a character. Anna is no longer the righteous agent of the law. She is an avenging angel, fueled by a desperate, consuming need to save the man who sacrificed everything for her. As we look toward the end of next week's episodes, the tension is going to be thick enough to cut with a knife. The final scene is guaranteed to be a massive, heart-stopping cliffhanger. Picture this: Valentin, bruised and defeated, being loaded into a heavily armored WSB transport vehicle under the dead of night, the massive iron gates of Steinmauer looming in the distance. The guards are armed to the teeth, and all hope seems completely lost. But then, high above on a ridge, hidden in the shadows of the pouring rain, we see the unmistakable silhouette of Anna Devane. Her weapon is drawn, her eyes are cold as ice, and she is staring down the entire might of the WSB. She has the transport in her sights, and Z is standing right in the firing line. The screen cuts to black just as her finger tightens on the trigger. Will she take the shot and ignite a global manhunt? Will she reach Valentin before those heavy prison doors slam shut forever? You are going to have to tune in to find out, because this is one explosive ride you do not want to miss.